First one has to do with the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. I've kind of spoken about these somewhat off and on, and it looks like they're in the works, at least from Roland Quant. He's saying that the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro are incoming. Yes, that's it. That's the tweet. And he doesn't offer any more details of exactly when or price or details or anything along those regards. So I'm not gonna, I can't go too in depth with it, but my guess is that they'll come out in August, July or August of this year when they launch the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and Flip 6. Now, I don't have the Galaxy S24 Ultra, and I know a lot of you guys don't have it just yet either, but a lot of us do have the S23 Ultra, and we know how good that phone looks in the direct sunlight. But what about S23 Ultra versus the S24 Ultra in direct sunlight? Well, Ahmed has done it for us at the highest screen brightness for both devices. In fact, Samsung was creative in cooperation with Corning Gorilla. Reflections have become significantly less and brightness has become better. I expect the Samsung to make it difficult to compare this feature with its competitors. And you can see on the left, the Galaxy S23 Ultra versus the S24 Ultra on the right. And the Ultra on the right is just way brighter, easier to see, and just looks better in overall in terms of direct brightness in the sun. I would have loved to see this with white displays backgrounds, but it's good to see it with the dark backgrounds because that's generally how I use my phone. What do you guys think about this? Pretty impressive stuff, right? And our last story has to do with the Samsung Galaxy Ring, a device that was announced at Unpacked just a week ago, and they haven't really given us any more details about it, but we learned a little bit more through a leak, and the information came from Threads from Greengard, who's saying, I got hands-on with prototypes of Samsung's Galaxy Ring. I was not allowed to take photos, but it is ridiculously light, comes in sizes up to 13, and is currently planned in 3 finishes. Impressive engineering, launching later this year, price to be determined. And it goes back, you know, light, you would expect something like that, especially if you're gonna wear a ring. I don't think you want something that's extremely heavy. The price to be determined makes sense. I still think it's gonna come out at $199 or less. I'll be so shocked if they sell this thing for like 300 bucks. Cause it's like, why not just get a watch, guys? It's about the same price as a display and this and that and a lot more features, probably. My guess, the release date would, again, probably be at July, August of this year when the Z Fold 6 and Flip 6 launch for that. Man, some big stories dropped today, especially on the Pixel side. The Pixel 9 Pro first look has dropped and it looks a lot different and it's a lot smaller. Remember, this is the Pro version, a lot smaller than the Pixel 8 Pro. So let's take a look at this phone. So this was leaked out by the amazing Steve McFly, also known as OnLeaks. And when we take a look at this phone, there's a lot to look here. It is a very rounded phone. It looks a lot like an iPhone. It has flat edges. It has a camera bump that doesn't go to the frame at all. The display itself, get this, only 6.5 inches. Previously, it was 6.7 inches, and the S24 Ultra is 6.8 inches. So in terms of size, Pro versions of phones, this is gonna be one of the smallest, if not the smallest on the Android side in the Western world in terms of Pro versions of this phone. And it should come out later in the second half of 2024. But again, I think it looks amazing. It looks really, really good. I love the design. I love everything. The only thing that kind of gets me a little concerned is the fact that the display has gotten smaller. Now, to be honest and fair, I don't use a slab phone as a phone. I use a folding phone. So to me, it won't bother me all that much, but it is something to be concerned with if you are a slab phone and you're worried about phones getting smaller, or maybe you are really excited about this. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Our last story, man, whew. If you haven't pre-ordered the Galaxy S24 Ultra unlocked version on Samsung's website, do it right now because shipping dates are going back and back and back. And also you might want to end up taking advantage of the pre-order rewards anyway, the $150 off through my link that I have down below, the free pre-order gifts up to, actually $150 in pre-order gifts, I should say. You also get the double storage for free upgrade, and then hopefully you'll get the phone on release date. But check this out. These, again, unlocked phones on Samsung.com. I can't even choose the 256. The 512, you can get the green, the blue, the black, all on July 31st. Everything else has been pushed back to March 8th. Some as early as March 6th, but March 8th and March 6th for those colors. And then the 1 terabyte, you're looking at February 21st for some, March 8th, March 6th, February 14th for that gray color. So all these dates are starting to push back ever so slightly. I always love the unlocked version of the phone because you don't get any of the carrier bloatware. It's the way Samsung intended it. That's really why. I mean, that's really, really why you'd want to get it. I don't want any of that crap on there. I pay enough money for these phones and I want them to be clean and clear. And then the other cool thing is you can bring these to any carrier you want. You don't have to wait to pay off the phone or have the carrier send you an unlock code or anything like that. You can just use it and bring it to where you want. So link is down below if you want to pre-order it, guys. It only supports the site, but you'll also, like I said, get all those extras thrown in there as well. We've got a bunch of stories for you. The first one has to do with Galaxy S24 phones finally getting shipment tracking sent out. This is people that I saw that ordered on Samsung's website and they're starting to get shipping confirmation. Now, one of the weird things that is showing on this is that everyone's phone that's getting shipped is getting shipped from UPS. And this is from Samsung.com. Usually in the past, Samsung has always used FedEx. This year, it looks like they switched over to UPS. If you go to UPS and you sign up for a free account, they have something similar to what FedEx has. FedEx has advanced shipment tracking. UPS has like My UPS or something, but basically it allows you to see deliveries that are coming to your home and future deliveries that are coming to your home. And I believe, if I'm reading it right, because it doesn't give me a ton of information, I have 2 packages coming. Both are 1.6 pounds and they haven't been shipped out, but they're being prepared to ship, and I see a tracking number. That would make sense because I have 2 phones coming to my house. So I'm assuming mine are gonna be shipped out or getting at least tracking information sent from Samsung very, very soon. You can check the Samsung website to see if you have anything, or go to the UPS, sign up for a free account and see if you have any basically advanced shipments coming. But yeah, people's shipments are shipping out, so this is great news for those folks. This will get more prevalent over the next couple of days for sure, because we're at Wednesday right now. Thursday, Friday, Saturday are gonna be crazy. A huge influx of people are going to begin getting shipment dates. And I do want to add on to the fact that the UPS, I do see 2 shipments coming to my house. One of those shipments has a expected delivery date of February 14th, which I said will not come true. I bet you it won't. I bet you will still ship the week of the release date. So it's looking like my prediction potentially might come true. Next up, as you can see from the headline, Samsung Electronics is considering developing a Galaxy Z Fold 6 entry-level model later this year. And the article goes on to say that according to the industry, on the 23rd, Samsung Electronics is considering developing an entry-level model of its foldable phone, the Z Fold 6, to be released in the second half of the year. This is the first time that Samsung Electronics is considering developing an entry-level foldable phone model. We've heard about this before. We'll see if it ends up coming true. Obviously, they want to do this so that they can sell more foldable phones, because a lot of people don't want to spend almost $2,000 to get one. And our last story, Google Pixel 9. We saw the Pixel 9 Pro yesterday. This is the Google Pixel 9, and it's going to have a 6.1-inch flat display and a compact form factor. The frame is flat and the rear camera module gets a redesign. The rear camera system could include a telephoto lens, and it looks it just looks smaller than yesterday's 6.5-inch Pixel 9 Pro, but I think it looks great. It looks like an iPhone for the most part, but I love the design. I think it's a really great looking phone. Galaxy S24 Ultra versus the S23 Ultra. In terms of that heat-seeking fan, the vapor chamber, I should say. I mean, I don't know what I'm thinking about. Vapor chamber that keeps this phone cool is so much larger on the S24 Ultra versus the S23 Ultra. As you can see from this photo here, look at it is literally 2 times larger than the previous generation on the S23 Ultra. So you should, with this, keep the phone cooler, but also get better performance regardless, because it has a better, newer processor, more powerful processor, but be able to sustain that performance over longer periods of time under intense performance strain. So this is really great for seeing this. If you're thinking about grabbing the S24 Ultra, now might be a fantastic time, because Best Buy has the following deal going on right now. Up to $870 of trade-ins for the S24 series. You get also $150 electronic Best Buy gift card that you can use on anything. You could use that towards accessories for the phone, or a new television, or something else. And then you also get double storage for free. So they've got all that going on right now. I've been talking a lot about the Samsung deals, which I have both linked down below, but what's cool about Best Buy is you can still do the store pickup, because there's probably a Best Buy near you, or you can get it shipped to you. Or if you just want to go the Samsung route, that's down below. Both links down below. Both links support my site. They both support what I do, and I appreciate if you end up using those links. Last story of the day is, speaking of Galaxy S24 Ultra and shipping and all this and ordering it, mine actually shipped. One of the things I had spoken to you guys about is like, oh, my order's showing and it's gonna ship on February 14th. I had one that's showing it's gonna ship on February 14th, one that shows it's gonna ship on January 31st. Well, Samsung, you shipped both of them out at the same time yesterday. I got a text saying that both had been shipped out, and I should be receiving them as early as tomorrow, January 26th. It does say I need to sign for them, which, dang, I wish I had unchecked that. I thought I did, but regardless, I need to sign for them, and I will have them though. And it looks like my pre-order gifts are with it as well. I don't think I have to wait for those to be shipped out, which is great. So S24 Ultra at the very least looks like it has shipped on both phones. Very stoked about this. Galaxy S24 Ultra. We still keep getting more information. You know, AI is huge with the Galaxy S24, but we've heard it's going to trickle down to some older phones. But where does that line stop potentially of older phones? Well, straight from the horse's mouth, Samsung, they have kind of let us know which phones this is gonna pretty much stop at for these Galaxy AI feature phones to reach. And it looks like it's gonna be phones 2023 and newer is where it will stop. They said, we want to ensure that over time our AI experiences can be supported by mobile performance, which leads to CPU and GPU compatibility. So for now, we are learning, we are going step by step. We know that Galaxy AI works well on the S24 series, and we know it will work well on the S23 series, but we don't know what the intensity of AI usage will be for the average consumer. And therefore, intensity will impact on device resources and cloud resources. Number one, we want to secure the quality and performance of what we deploy. Then we will learn how people use these features and tune the performance. Number two, we will deploy Galaxy AI on a second set of devices, specifically S23, S23 FE, Z Fold 5, Z Flip 5, and Tab S9 to see how it works. So I don't think it's that like an S22 wouldn't be able to do it. I bet you would actually do it really, really well, and probably just as well as, like, for instance, an S23 Fan Edition. So it seems like they're kind of like handicapping this whole thing. It's a bit of a turnoff. I won't be surprised if these AI features trickle down to those older phones, but this still, I just wanted to give you some a chance or a knowledge of it that it might not happen. So keep your eyes peeled on this one, and I will too. But as of right now, only the phones released in 2023 from Samsung that are kind of flagshipy type phones will be getting AI features, as well as obviously the 2024 releases. Last story of the day has to do with the Galaxy S24 Ultra display. As you know, it has this anti-reflective part of the display. It also has a really bright display, the brightest display on any Samsung phone ever. But I've seen this before, and he's not the first one to say it, but supposedly the display, when you just look at it, doesn't look as good as an S23 Ultra because of that anti-reflective display. It looks kind of not as rich in color as well, more natural look to it, and you can't, even when you put it on Vivid, it still doesn't look as great. But the tweet that Ice Universe put out says that the S24 Ultra screen gives me the most direct impression that the color is much lighter, which you can easily find by comparing it to an S23 Ultra. And a lot of people in the comments that have the phone as well are saying like, hey, the icons don't look as great, they're not as rich in color. And I think a lot has to do with that anti-reflective display, which just like anything in life is a give and take. We get the anti-reflectiveness, but at the same time, it pulls away some of that color potentially. Now, hopefully they can push an update out that would remedy this. I don't know if they will, if this is even an update that would fix something like this. But I know for me, the reason I personally love Samsung, not the main reason, but one of the reasons, is those really vivid, rich looking displays and colors and the way they look. And a lot of phones can't compete with that or don't even try. So I'll get the phone today, supposedly, hopefully. So I'll have a video very, very soon on this to let you guys know what's going on with it and my impressions about it. All right, guys, this is the Galaxy S24 Ultra, the front camera. And it's nice because all the cameras now shoot in 4K 60. I mentioned that in a previous video a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, now they all do. So you can keep it at 4K 60 and it works on the ultra wide, the regular cameras, the telephoto, the front cameras, all of that. So kind of nice. I like that. I'm actually going to, can I flip it around? I can flip. There's my dog, Shoko. Shoko! Hi, Shoko! Hi, girl. And now I'm going to switch it to ultra wide. Here's ultra wide. Peering it into there. Let me put it on me right here. And yeah, kind of nice. I'm curious to, this is actually the first time I'm recording a video with this. Be curious to see how the microphones sound, if they improve those at all. I'll eventually do an S23 Ultra versus S24 Ultra comparison, but as of right now, don't have that just yet. Here's, oh, let me go 10x on there. Some golfers right there. 10x. You can see them. I can even zoom more, I believe. Let me see. Yes, I can. No, it stops at 20x. You can do 100x if you go into photo mode first and then record from there. Go back here. Check out, oh, too close. One. There you go. There's the tree. Very nice. What do you guys think? Let me know. So I've literally been using this for like less than 12 hours or whatever, because obviously I slept and stuff like that. But the first thing that I noticed using this is the smoothest Samsung phone ever in terms of how fast it is. It is, and the animations are beautiful. The performance is amazing. They did an amazing job with One UI 6.1 and the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 and just putting that all together with this. This feels so smooth. Like S23 Ultra is smooth and fast, but this is again another level of that. And they just did an amazing job. I didn't even, usually I'll tone down the animations. The animations are just perfect on this. Like I don't feel like I need to do that, at least at this moment in time. It is awesome. So if you love like smooth, fast feeling phones, dude, this one for sure. This like makes my Z Fold 5 look like a cluttery mess, a clunky mess. This is amazing, seriously, like blows me away. Another thing that blew me away is that, and I noticed it right off the bat with the speakers. Speakers are, especially versus the S23 Ultra, S24 Ultra speakers are bassier and louder. They sound great. I recorded the video with this phone and I sent the same video to the S23 Ultra because I wanted to see how that same video sounded through those speakers versus these speakers. And these ones, again, bassier, louder, just better overall quality sound from that video when I recorded with this phone on both, and then listening it back on both phones. Really, really nice speakers on the S24 Ultra. Now, holding this in your hand, I have this case on here, which is their grip and stand case, which is kind of cool. I'll have a video on it. There's things I like about it, some things I don't like about it, and so I'll give you the full review later. But even when I take this off, holding this phone and the S23 Ultra in my hand, again without the case, even this feels a little bit bigger. When you put them like this, though, it doesn't really look like, I mean, it does with the case on, but when you put them like this, with the case off, they look really similar. So that flat display, you can definitely feel that this feels a little bit bigger. Again, in your hand, when you just look at them side by side, you don't notice too much of a difference, but overall, there is a little bit of a difference, at least in comfort-wise. It's not bad, but it does feel a little bit less comfortable by the slight bit, but it also feels a little bit bigger too. Now, I talked about it yesterday, about the colors and how they're saturated, how they're not saturated versus S23 Ultra versus S24 Ultra. I even read comments from people saying that like the blacks on the S24 Ultra didn't look as good as the S23 Ultra, and I did side-by-side comparisons. Black and white colors, I felt like S24 Ultra had darker blacks and brighter whites versus the S23 Ultra. So that one test, at least preliminary, early test, I'd give it to the S24 Ultra. In terms of which one has a more saturated look to the display, S23 Ultra is definitely more saturated. And I don't know if I would say it was so noticeable on the S24 Ultra that I would be like completely turned off. When I look at them side by side, yes, I can notice some differences, but if I just had this phone, I never had the S23 Ultra, or I didn't have the S23 Ultra nearby, I don't know. I mean, yeah, sure, it looks a little bit more muted in the colors. It's not bad though. The quality of the display I felt like is still really good. I held these two phones up to my wife and I didn't say anything. I said, all I did is this. I said, which one looks better? And every time she personally chose the S24 Ultra, she said it looked brighter. She said she liked the colors better. She said she liked the quality of the display better. Again, just me holding it about 4 feet away, 4 feet away from her. She chose the S24 Ultra for all of it. You can really know you can really see saturated color differences within like reds and some of the deeper, brighter colors. But again, it's not so much if I just gave you this, I don't think you would really notice. It's really when you have them side by side, you're really looking down on these and you're like, okay, yeah, that one does look more saturated. I do prefer a more saturated look of the phone, but this isn't a bad display in terms of like, what's been really hyped up with it, It's been pretty good of what I feel like is pristine and quality wise. Would I personally like it to be more saturated? Yes, I probably would, but it's not so much if I'm not comparing these where I'm like looking at this and I'm like, oh God, no. Personally, I don't feel that way. I thought it looked pretty good. And is it something they could fix in the future? Potentially. What I did is I turned on the natural look of the screen on to the S23 Ultra, since this is more vivid and stuff, and I left this at vivid, and they got a little close. This one was still more vivid than the natural on this, but it was kind of interesting to see that. So in terms of the display and the colors, I don't know if it would be such a turnoff where I wouldn't want to keep the phone. Just in the few hours or so that I've been using this and like the things I've tried, I thought the cameras looked, I didn't even mention the cameras. The cameras I felt looked pretty good. Like I love that 4K 60s on all the cameras now. The quality of the photos came out good. I didn't take a ton of photos, but the photos I did came out great. I mean, I had no problem with them at all. So I'm happy with it thus far. I don't look at this as like a downer phone or that they hurt us on the display. And it's, that matte finish is really, really nice. It's not, I can still see reflections when I'm going like this, but, it still is pretty matte overall. So pretty impressed with it. All right, guys, Galaxy S24. I wanted to go through some of the AI things, or as they call them, advanced intelligence. So the first thing would be circle to search. Just press and hold, or you have your home button down here, or if you use gestures like me, you're gonna press and hold on it. So just go like something like this. And then you can circle and search for anything. So I'll just do it here, for instance, and it's gonna search, it'll find Tesla. And you can do that on anything. You can open up a website, and we'll just go into here to this PS5 firmware thing. And you can do it with pictures or really anything, and it'll search for it. Let's just do this, for instance. Search for that, and it searches for it. Very easy. Do it again on this image right here. See if we can find this image. And there you go. So very cool, really smooth, really fast, and really easy. Next, swipe down from the bottom, or top I should say, and then hit the gear on the top right. And then we're gonna go down until we see advanced features, and we're gonna go into advanced intelligence. Now, there's a lot of stuff that came out. For instance, if you go to the phone, you can get real-time translation, and this is off by default, so you're gonna wanna turn this on. Get real-time translation during calls, tap the call assist button, then select live translate or and any call. So you're gonna have to get a call in order to get this going, but you have to turn it on first. Once you turn it on, it's gonna think for a second, and you're gonna need the internet for basically all of these things, so just keep that in mind. If you don't have internet, it's not really gonna work for you. You got your language, you can choose in here different voices, so we'll turn this up so we can hear it. Let's see if we can hear it.
This is what it sounds like when you're translating a call.
So there you go, you get a voice. You can have them talk faster or slower. Let's have them talk a little bit faster.
This is what it sounds like when you're translating a call. This is what it sounds like when you're translating a call.
That sounds pretty good.
This is what it sounds like when you're translating a call.
Guy sounds a little bit robotic, but hey, it still works. So go back to that. We'll keep that on there. The other person will only hear a translation of what you say, so you can have them mute your voice or not if you want them to do that. Other person, you can choose different languages here and download different languages. Spanish for the United States is probably one of the most popular ones here, so that would probably be a good one to have. All right, next one would be Samsung Keyboard, which I don't use to be fair, but you can change the tone of your writing, get spelling and grammar suggestions, and translate messages in select chat and text messaging apps. So you come in here, hit OK, and then you're good here. You can see translate messages in select text, chat, change the tone of the writing, and get spelling and grammatical suggestions. You can check. So you have to have, this stuff is automatically on, I guess, by default when you come in here. So you have all that. But then when you go back, you can do style and grammar. Make sure it's on if it's not. You can see process data only on device. That's for security and purposes only, but it won't do some of that. So I would probably keep that off. We next have the interpreter, live translation of spoken conversations available as voice or as text output. So you come in here, and this is where you can use advanced intelligence to translate your spoken conversations either as text or read aloud. Translations are processed on your phone, and tap to talk, you have that. You have different voice styles. So we can click on this and listen to it.
Así suena cuando traduce.
Looks like you can add a voice, download. To use interpreter, download the Spanish United States language. You can hit download. And that's gonna download, looks like more language packs. So now I have a second voice.
Así suena cuando traduce.
There we go. Maybe I want that. Maybe
Así suena cuando traduce.
Go back. And this one, the way we're gonna use this one is, so once you basically have this thing going here, this is when you can start using it. So if you wanna access that interpreter, again, just swipe down from the top and you'll see an interpreter on the quick panel. If you don't, we can add it. So let's just cycle through here. There it is right there. Just tap on it right there and it'll bring it up for you. Hey, how are you? Bien, ¿y tú?
Okay, and you?
So there you go, there's real-time translation. And just remember, with the phone translation, you're gonna have a special button when you get a call or make a call that allows you to do the translation. It'll be the assist button. Next would be Samsung Notes, come in here. And this should be on by default, but if it isn't, just turn it on. And this will auto-format your notes with headers, bullet points, and paragraphs, summarize your notes to see what they're about, generate covers based on note content, correct spelling and grammar, and translate text into your notes. When you auto-format, summarize, correct, or generate covers, The select text or notes, including any sensitive data in them, will be processed but not stored by Samsung. Translations are processed by your phone. So you would have to go into Samsung Notes. So find that app, open it up. I don't really use this that much, but you'll be able to, I guess, a bit here. So you could open up this note, for instance. They got foldables in both. Touch and hold the drag to move around the toolbar, and basically you can press this button and this will note smarter, not harder. You hit OK, and you can auto format things or correct the spelling or summarize, and that's basically how it's going to do it for you. Next would be voice recorder, and this will use advanced intelligence to create text transcripts, summaries, and translations of your recordings. And there's nothing to turn on here, so what we're going to do is go into summaries here, and you'd have to click it on here if you want to have summaries of everything. It automatically creates summaries of recordings using advanced intelligence. When you open a recording summary tab, its transcript, including any sensitive data in it, will be processed but not stored by Samsung. So you got to turn that on if you want it to go on. You have your transcription languages. You can add more languages if you wish. So let's go into the recording app. And I have some recordings here. Most of these are just like demos that I sang and stuff. But if we click on one, I can hit transcribe. English, I'm gonna hit transcribe. It's gonna go through it, analyzing the recording. And hey, this is Greg, I'm recording with Apple. So it tells you exactly what I said, if there's another speaker. So if you had a recording of this, it would break it down like that. You can even go through a summary and hit OK. And this will summarize exactly what was going on in the testing or whatever I said. And it's a really cool stuff to be able to do that and do it really quickly as well. Next would be Samsung Internet. Get simple summaries of web page text along with full translations. You can see and click on summarize. So summarize using advanced, I can turn that on for websites. When you summarize a web page, its contents will be processed. Oh, did I turn that off? Let's turn that back on. Okay, that looks good. Translate, and you can choose different language packs. So we'll open up the Samsung Internet browser, which I don't really use that much, but you can use it if you want. So I'm not gonna make that default. So we have this up here. So if you have your web page up, all you're gonna do is hit this button in the middle, hit OK. If it pops up, you can summarize it or translate. So I'll do summarize. It's gonna summarize the whole page for me, which can be very, very nice. This is basically about Mint Mobile's holiday deal. So very nice and easy as well to summarize pages and things like that. I'll do it again and I'll do translate. Maybe I want to translate it. So I can choose what I want, the text. And then maybe I'll choose Spanish. There we go. And it translates it for me. Photo editor, I can reimagine images by moving, removing, or resizing the people and objects in them, then generating new backgrounds to fill in any missing pieces. So we'll open that up. I'm gonna turn this on, hit OK. And what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go home. We're gonna open up our gallery app, choose your image in question, hit the edit button, hit this button right here, and you can see tap or draw around anything you want to move or delete. So I'm gonna circle it and it's going to have it selected, and you can see you can touch and hold your selection to move or delete them. So I'll touch and hold it, and maybe I want to put it right here. So I'll put it right there. Maybe I'll make it smaller. I'll twist it. It's probably a bad picture to do this with, but at least it allows us to do something with it, right? And then I hit generate, and it's gonna generate the image, and let's see what it does. Adding the missing pieces, and let's see what it adds in. Sculpting new scenery. So it does take a little bit of time because it's sending it through the internet, painting it. And you can see it added in, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, it added in, I can hit done, view original. But it basically just completely removed it, and that's actually really cool. I can hit done at that point. Save as a copy. And there we go. Doesn't look too bad actually on there. So let's do it with my dog now. We'll hit edit. And it says tap or draw. Tap on the dog. Now I'm going to touch and hold to move her. I've got her moved and make her really small. Make her a little small dog. And hit generate. And let it do its thing. There you go. Filled in the missing spots. So it's pretty cool. I mean, like, obviously these aren't great images to be doing this with because there's nothing really going on, but still kind of cool and easy to do. Hit done. Next, go to wallpaper and style under settings. And this is where you can change your wallpaper. And this is also where you can do all of your new AI wallpapers. So you'll come in here and you just choose creative and choose generative. You choose that, and then this is where you have to kind of start off. These are the ones that I've created so far, but you can come in here. You have to choose a category. So maybe we want to do some minerals. So we'll choose mineral. It doesn't give you a ton of options, but at least it gives you some. And you choose, you want a close-up image of Galana, whatever that is. Maybe you want to change that to amethyst. And then with what kind of hues, maybe you want them to be vibrant or complementary or neon. So we'll choose neon, and that's all you can choose from. Then hit generate, and it's going to create a wallpaper for you that you can use for your phone. And it kind of makes it a little bit unique and pretty easy. And you can see what it's going to look like, which one you want to choose. Maybe I want this one. So I'm going to choose that. I'm going to hit next, and then I'm going to hit done. And this will create the wallpaper for me that I can use. And then the last thing with advanced intelligence, you can process data only on the device. Why would you want to do this? Well, if you're trying to be super secretive, but it's going to remove a lot of the features being able to do that. Also, you might want to do this if you're doing some of these things and you don't want to use data because it costs too much. Maybe you're traveling or something. You might want to put that on, but otherwise I'd leave it off so that it always does the best in most stuff that you can do with your phone. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road. Peace.